These are 10 video games that deserve an adaptation, starting with Game 1, Original Modern Warfare Trilogy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wouldn't it just be a generic war movie? Well, if you played any of the games, you would know it is nothing like a generic war movie. In fact, people have called Modern Warfare 2 and 3 action movies. They have so many iconic characters and moments they can choose from, it's not even funny. You can't tell me that Whiskey Hotel mission wouldn't hit. Charlie Don't Surf all gillied up, dust to dust cliffhanger. Whoo! I'm getting excited just thinking about it. If you get a director that will treat this IP with the love and respect it deserves, Activision got a new hit on your hands. Do you think the original Modern Warfare trilogy should get a show? Let me know. Game 2, Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption fits perfectly as a movie. It has a critically acclaimed story. I have yet to come across a single person that has ever said that the story of Red Dead Redemption is terrible, or even bad for that matter. There hasn't been a popular cowboy movie made in a while, and this movie could potentially scratch that itch. The setting, the characters, the cinematography would all be amazing. All you gotta do is just copy what The Last of Us did. And if you do that, congratulations, Rockstar. You got a brand new hit on your hands. Do you think Red Dead Redemption 2 should get an adaptation? Let me know. Game 3, Metal Gear. I mean, they halfway there already. Did you see the end to Metal Gear Solid 4? That thing like an hour long. The characters are beloved, and the story has been well received. All Konami has to do is convince Kojima to come back. Because without Kojima, there is no Metal Gear. Speaking of Konami, they do have a history of making movies. Not very good ones, but movies. I think a Die Hard inspired movie would fit Metal Gear perfectly. If those movies are successful enough, they can even do a spin-off based off Reddit and call it Revengeance. Now that would be fire. Do you think Metal Gear should adaptation? Let me know. Game 4, Overwatch. They kinda already do that already with the animated short films. We just want more of that, but in a show format. Fans have been asking for a show about Overwatch for years, since the original game came out. And with the rise of video game adaptations, why not give Overwatch a try? They have a huge cast of characters that they can pull from, and they already have in-game dialogue that they can use as a reference for the show. Overall, Overwatch 2 has a pretty bad reputation at the moment. And if the show is good enough, it can rejuvenate the IP and give it a breath of fresh air. If Cyberpunk can do it, Overwatch can. Do you think Overwatch should get an adaptation? Let me know. Now let's move on to Game 5, LA Noire. There is yet to be an adaptation of a detective game, and I think LA Noire would be perfect for that role. 1940s LA would look amazing, and it fits perfectly with today's throwback culture. It's already inspired by real crimes back then, so they don't really have to do much. They can always sprinkle in some original stories in there if they want to. There are so many crime and detective shows out there that they can use as a reference for LA Noire. It's crazy. And besides, everyone loves a good mystery, right? What do you think? Do you think LA Noire should get an adaptation? Just let me know. Now let's move on to Game 6, Jet Set Radio. With the reboot and development, a show can give the IP a massive boost. Jet Set Radio is one of those games that can work both animated and in live action. With animation, you have that beautiful cel-shaded art style that no matter how long it's been will still look good. And with live action, you can put a spotlight on the rollerblading culture, and with the right brand deal, can make both companies millions of dollars. With skateboarding being really popular in the late 90s, early 2000s, people really do like stuff like that. All it takes is just one good show or movie to bring people back into that love. What do you think? Do you think Jet Set Radio should get an adaptation? Let me know. Now let's move on to Game 7, GTA San Andreas. San Andreas is one of the most beloved video games of all time, with a cast of iconic characters that everyone, even people that haven't played San Andreas, knows. Gangster movies already exist, so they shouldn't have any trouble translating it to a show or a movie. A Bad Boys inspired San Andreas movie would go so hard. They can turn the side missions into little subplots. Los Santos, San Fierro, and Los Venturas are all based off real places, so it shouldn't be hard to find places to film. This would be the easiest bag Rockstar will ever make. San Andreas is a hood classic. I think it should get an adaptation. What about you? And that's why our Game 8, Call of Duty Black Ops, needs a show. With Black Ops 6 coming out soon and continuing the story, it made me want to rewatch the old Black Ops campaigns. And it made me realize how good the stories really were. The stories for each game are good enough to have their own season dedicated to them. You have 4 games that they can pull from, 5 if you want to include World at War. Even though Black Ops 3 and 4 doesn't connect to the other games, a good enough writer and director can figure it out. Season 1 can tell the story of Black Ops 1, then Season 2 can be a flashback to World at War to learn more about Reznov, and then Season 3 could be whatever direction they want to go. They have so many iconic characters and moments, it's not even funny. And that's why I think the Black Ops series should get an adaptation. I also believe our 9th game, Doki Doki Literature Club, needs an anime. I'm surprised they haven't done it already. It could expand on a romance angle more than the games do. It would also give the characters more character development. We haven't had a good psychological horror anime in a while, and I think a game like Doki Doki Literature Club could fit those shoes perfectly. I'm not sure how the ending would work, but a director with a good enough vision, they can do something with it. And that's why it deserves a place on this list. And that's why our 10th and final game, Plants vs. Zombies, needs an adaptation. When I say show, I don't mean a 30-minute to an hour long one. I mean a 5 to 10 minute episode will work fine. Even little shorts that can air between shows can work fine. This just feels like something Nickelodeon would do. There really isn't a story, so the writers have a blank slate to do whatever they want. You could even revive a dead IP. Pun intended. It should be pretty cheap to make, making this a low-risk, decent reward type of investment. And that's why it deserves the 10th and final place on this list. And that concludes the list. Do you agree or disagree with it? What games would you add to your own list? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.